Welcome back to the Coaches Show. This is Jesse Skiles here with the Louisville State College Athletic Department. Our guest today is head volleyball coach Kevin John. Thanks for being with us today, Coach.
Absolutely, love. Thanks for having me.
I'll tell you what, it's your first year on the job here. I know you've coached at Snow, at Western State in Colorado, and up in northern Vermont. Just some takes on, I think it's been about 3 months now you've been on the job here, roughly, three and a half. Some perceptions, takes on, being in West Virginia and the job here. Well,
as most folks that I know, that I've been looking to get to West Virginia for quite a while, and it's been everything that we hoped. We've enjoyed the area. We enjoyed exploring. My wife and I, Dana, are really enjoying our time here in West Virginia. The big surprise for us was we knew this was a friendly area. We knew that we were going to get along with folks, but we were really surprised that it was even more welcoming than we thought it would be. It was awesome. It was great, and we've loved every minute of it so far.
Yeah. Tell you what, just moving from Johnson, Vermont, similar small town, really, and you're getting ready to experience a little bit of our autumn here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we got that a little bit up in Vermont too, and then I'm from the hills in the Rockies there too, so we got to see some nice falls. So that's definitely one of my favorite parts of the year, going out and hiking and taking a look at the beauty around us. And I'm looking forward to. I know the peak's coming. I know we got 2-3 weeks away, something like that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
It's beautiful here. It really is. This part of the state too. But this is nothing new for you to take a program and really try to develop and build upon. And the record is what it is. The program's been down for a while, so you know what you were brought in here for. The first couple months in the build and culture and that type of thing.
So what I like to do, aside from, especially when we're rebuilding a program, what I like to do is I like to look at things beyond the win-loss record, because that's kind of an on-off switch. It's kind of a gross indicator of what's going on, but it doesn't really indicate a lot of growth. The wins start coming when they come. So we take a lot of advanced stats. We do a lot of culture stats. We do a lot of things in practice as far as statting our growth individually as well as a team, and we've already come a long way. It's hard to see when you look at our record, although a couple wins, a little bit of improvement from last year, but still it's not as easy to see that when you just look at those win-loss numbers. When you get the deep dive, when you look into what we're doing, we have come a long way. The athletes have grown a ton. They're starting to understand the whys of volleyball as much as the hows of volleyball, which is one of the big things. We want to instill a sense of how to play within the system and when to play outside of the system, and when to take charge and when to do the things that we've learned, and when to make adjustments against other teams. And when you're talking about high-end volleyball, that's a tough thing to accomplish. That's a tough thing to learn. It's a tough thing to go forward with. And I said this at the beginning, that we would struggle sometimes against teams that weren't more polished. And I think you can see that as we played more polished teams, we've shown up and looked a little better than we've looked against teams that have similar records to ours. And that has to do with the fact that basically our system and stuff is geared towards that, and we're not polished up enough yet to play flawless volleyball against teams that are going to come at us a little more randomly. We're more geared towards teams that we're going to be able to make adjustments. We're going to see what they're doing. We're going to be able to get into that a bit. And the other part will come as they understand how to play outside of the system. We'll understand how to play against those teams and compete against those teams that are coming at us a little more randomly, and that takes a second. That takes a second to get done. But I'm happy with where we are. I'm happy with what we've accomplished. The athletes, like we talk about all the time in the gym, our highs are higher than our previous highs, and our lows are higher than our previous lows. So we're okay with where we are.
I know you're looking, for some consistency, and it's a young team, very young team. But there's been, certainly some instances where some kids have thrown together some really good stat lines and, extended periods of quality play. I know Goodrich had the big one there back against Rowe, and then Taylor Johnson had some good games. Carly Shavers had some good stat lines. Skylar Mace had some good stat lines. Just about some of the performances, some of the kids there at this point?
Yeah, and before I get into the individual stuff, what you said consistency-wise is definitely the challenge right now in the world that we live in. We've had some disruptions with how many kids we've had in the gym and those kinds of things, and that's played heavily into our consistency issues for sure, where we don't get to play together enough. But as you said, some individuals have popped out and done a really good job. Skylar Mace, first of all, our returning all-conference athlete, is doing a whole new system, brand new stuff. Her tempo is going much faster. She's playing a much faster game than she's played in the past, and it's hard to master that. And even though we're doing that with her, she has duplicated her all-conference numbers from last year, and been hurt a little by some consistency issues with setting and some things like that here and there. So really, when she's got a ball in front of her, she's hitting at a higher clip than she even did last year when she went all-conference. So we're really happy with what she's doing and how fast she's come along. We had some people step up that have been freshmen, didn't get a lot of opportunities in the past. Sydney Goodrich is one of those. She's not a freshman, but didn't get a ton of opportunity in the past. But she's shown to be a very stable player, a very well-grounded player, a player that can implement game plans, and we call it swing dirty. So while she's not up at 9.7, 9.8 in the air, she's able to, hit off of players, hit into good areas of the court. And even though her stat line might not show a kill, she earns us points at the beginning of a rally where we're controlling the entire point, and it's because of her decisions and what she's doing. So again, that's that deep dive into stats. So even every stat line that she has that's not instantly recognizable as great, she has a bunch of deep advanced stats that are showing off where she's been a very consistent performer for us. The other one you mentioned, Tay, freshman that's been playing a little right side for us. We threw her on the outside the other night. She played a little outside earlier in the year. She can play three positions for us. She's been kind of glue for us, and has some of the more obvious stats for the year. She is right now, efficiency-wise, our second best player offensively, and for freshmen, that is outstanding. And that's part of the deal, too. I mean, freshmen are going to take to this a little faster because they're not ingrained in other systems. They're not ingrained in other things. And we have seen that, where some of the freshmen are kind of coming along a little faster, and she's taken to it well, and she's showing off on the court that she understands what we're talking about. And then, of course, Carly also had some conference honors and is a senior on the team. She's a grip it and rip it style athlete who we've been trying to get her to control some volume and do some different things in that way so she can have a more complete game. And when she shows that, she has masterful matches. She has matches where she won our player of the week for the school. She really showed off her range and the things she could do. She showed off all of her power, all of her touch, all of her knowledge of the game, her explosiveness, and her defense. She's really a complete six rotation player, and the sky's the limit for what she can accomplish. There's no question about that for her. And we're really just proud of all the athletes that are coming along. I would say that those four are really coming along. And I do want to point out one other person. We're a little undersized, and probably a player that's a little undersized for a position is Key right now, who's playing a lot of middle for us. But she's also been one of our most efficient players, and she works her tail off. And you can see when she gets opportunities, she grabs at them and she works hard for them. She comes today every day in practice and works hard for those opportunities. And we're really proud of how far she's come in the time that we've had her. She's done a lot. She's done a lot to try to get on the court. And even when she's not on the court, she's been a great leader. And so there's those kind of players too. We have a lot of those kind of kids walking around, athletes walking around, that even though they're not getting every opportunity, they're helping change our program into what it's going to be. And we're proud of those athletes as well.
Well, I'll tell you, you noted right there about that it's been kind of hit and miss with being able to have everybody practicing at one time together, and consequently, I know you've played a lot of different combinations. Kind of your hands been forced. With where we're at now, what are the objectives that you're looking at to accomplish with these next 2 weeks of conference play?
That's exactly what we just talked about last night in the locker room. I think there's some there's some dual objectives, and sometimes those things almost seems like they're counter to each other. But so we have, the objectives for this team, where we feel like we can compete with a lot of these teams, and we might be able to come out on the other end. On the second time around for a lot of these teams, as we grow, we feel like some of these results might change, and so we're going to continue to game plan and to focus on this season and to hopefully get the best results we can. But that's where the other part of it comes in. We're trying to change a culture. We're trying to make a 10-year plan, not a 1-year plan. And so we have to be mindful of that as well. And again, sometimes that is counter to immediate success as far as wins and losses. There might be a small percentage of change based on that, because we have to make sure that we're guiding everyone in the right direction. And those two things, it's like being on a wire. We're balancing. We're trying to make sure that we're not giving away our futures of culture and the things that we're trying to accomplish here, as well while we're trying to accomplish as much as we can this season. And I believe in these athletes. I believe in what they're doing. I believe that we can be successful this year. And at the same time, like I said, I plan to be here for a while, and we want to make sure that these freshmen and future people, and again, even seniors this year, when they look back in 5 years, they can say they planted these seeds, that they helped this program grow, so they can have something to be proud of in 5 years, even if we don't accomplish every one of their goals this year, which we'd like to do. But even if we don't do that, I want them to be able to look back and go, yeah, I did that. I planted those seeds. I did that work. They're standing on my shoulders right now, and I want them to think about it that way too. So we're balancing these two things. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to be getting together here, each week, moving on, and it's been exciting to see the development. And I know you have, some good recruits out there, hitting the recruiting trail.
We are.
But we really appreciate you for coming by and having this talk, and we'll talk more as the season progresses.
Thanks much, and just throw this message out there. It's an exciting brand of volleyball. It's been fun to watch overall. We've come out and had low energy here and there, but overall, I think our team has really scratched and clawed and fought, and it's been fun to look at. So I'm hoping everyone will come down and give it a chance and watch some fun volleyball.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week on the GSC Coaches Show.